up, everybody? Bobby here, the Geek Guru. Geek, definitely Guru. And, yeah, I don't know either. So, today I wanted to talk about, I get a question a lot. I get asked a lot. How is it that I am allowed to do the things that I do? Like, how am I able to collect the statues I collect, the amiibo I collect? How is it that I'm able to play video games the way I play and all that stuff? Like, guys are like, where do you find a woman like that?
He locks me in a dungeon.
You can do that. Or, but I think the thing is like, people want to know, like, is there tips that guys should have to convince their significant other to let them collect or whatever? Like, why do you let me collect?
Well, okay. First of all, when we met, you were already into collecting statues. You were into video games. And the video game thing with me isn't a big deal because I have always played video games and I was always into video games. So that's not a big deal. The statues, I mean, like I said, I knew before we ever got married and when we first met that you did that. So I feel like, you know, that's something that you love. And I think it's kind of wrong to stop somebody from doing something that they like just because you come along. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you met me now? That's going to end. That's not right, you know? And I mean, as long as we have the money to do it, then I have no problem. Like, he has his spending money and I have my spending money and we have our bills taken care of, you know. He lets me buy my stupid planner crap and clothes like crazy and shoes and never says anything. And I think it would be kind of wrong of me to be like, well, you can't buy any more statues, and you know, and plus he keeps them down in the back cave.
Sometimes.
So it doesn't bother me.
But I also feel like partly, you know, and I mentioned this in an earlier collector video, like, you need to, like, have it organized.
Yeah.
And, like, it can't just be, like, stuff just thrown about.
Yeah, if you have it, because women like their house to look the way they want it to look, you know, and they're very particular. I don't care what woman you are, you like your house the way you like it. And if you leave your crap all over the place, then she's probably going to be like, you know what, you need to chill out with this because it's starting to get all over. And no, I think you have to keep organized with it. You have to display it nicely, I think, and he does. He has it beautiful down there.
Eventually I'll show you guys.
Yeah. And even, you know, like even with the Nintendo stuff, yeah, you're going to have electronics all over. You can't get away from that. But that's what entertainment systems are for, and centers and stuff, to keep all that. Like with the video games. But I do come up with ways to hide his stuff.
The stuff that's out up here.
Yeah.
The
like,
stuff downstairs you don't mess with.
The stuff downstairs, I never touch anything of his down there. That's all him. That's what he spends his money on. He can buy whatever he wants. He can put it wherever he wants. Clean it. I don't touch anything. Even if he brings home a new statue, I'm like, can I touch it? Is it okay? Because I don't want to mess it up.
They're
you
expensive.
know?
Don't touch them.
Yeah. I don't. And he doesn't mess with my stuff. Like, he has his space. I have my space.
That's the thing. I think that, like,
and you need that.
we've always, since we were dating, like, you know, when we lived in the other house, when we were dating, I had my house. My house was already there. I had my studio, which had my statues, and I had my library, which had all my, like, baseball gloves. I used to have, like, I still have them, but they're antique baseball gloves, and I would have them hanging on the walls, and signed autographed baseballs in there and all that stuff. And I was like, when you first started, like, when we started getting serious, and you were like, I wanted, like, I forget what you wanted to do. You wanted to, like, change the curtains.
Well, because your house was they had.
It was dated.
It was very dated.
Yeah.
I mean, the curtains were like from 1940 or something.
Was it 19?
Like, they were just.
It was a 100-year-old house. First off, it was a 100-year-old house that I bought.
It was a cute house, just in a bad spot.
So, but what I did was, she was asking if it was okay if she bought curtains and stuff like that to kind of. Yeah. So I was like,
I didn't make it girly.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah. So I took you upstairs, and I was like, you could do whatever you want, except this room and this room. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
that was my library and my studio where I had my statues, and I'm like, don't think about it. Don't do nothing. Just leave it alone. And that was.
I wanted to make it cheerful and more a little bit updated for him,
but
because
it wasn't,
guys always need a girl's touch.
But it wasn't that. And don't take it the wrong way. Like, don't take it like I was setting the tone, and that's not what it was.
No.
It was a jokey manner and all, but I was just basically saying, like, look, these are my space. You know, these areas are my space. This is what I need to kind of like, for us to coexist. I kind of got to have my place to go and get away, and you find some place here, and you can go do whatever you want to do. I actually gave up the library.
You did. I was just gonna say, you actually did when we got married.
Yeah, and I turned it in.
He turned that into a closet for me because there was like no closets in this place.
Yeah, the closet was small.
So he actually, moved the library to downstairs and gave me that room. So he was very,
So I think that, like, you guys got to kind of like get together and figure out like where you're gonna exist within your house. I mean, we have a full house. It's we got a full basement and then 2 stories. There's plenty of room here, so
that
more or
was
less
one of
like
the ways that I got him to get this place, because I'm like, look, Bobby, look at this finished basement. You can have your bat cave down here. And
I was fine, and I was like, that works for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, so it was more or less like, hey, you can have this room, because you used to do crafts all the time, and it was like,
we had 2 extra bedrooms.
So you can do this one, and we actually, because we had the one in the library, it was called the Yankee room, and then we had your craft room, and then now the craft room became the game room. It's more of like a retro. I'm trying to.
Room.
It's a bigger room, but I'm trying to turn it into a lot of Nintendo stuff and old time video game stuff and all that.
Which that's also I'm kind of letting him do, but I'm kind of helping out a little bit.
Well, that's where you play.
Yeah, that's where I play my games while he's down here. So I have a little input in that room, I guess, but not in the back.
Because we moved the TV up there.
Yeah. And then, because we got a bigger TV for the living room, so now we got another big TV up there. But like my craft room, I just worked on it this past weekend. He had no say-so in it, because that's my room, just like downstairs is his. I'm not going to go down there and say, well, I think you should put this shelf over here and stuff.
I mean, I will ask opinions, like, do you think this looks good or not? And that's just because I just want to know if it looks good or not. Like, not that it's like, I need your permission to put this particular shelf this way.
He can put anything he wants down there.
And I think that's what you guys, you need to go to your girlfriends or your wives and just say, hey, listen, I would like to have a room or an area that's like, look, if I said to her, like, right here, I want to do cases and I want to put Batman statues right in the middle of our living room, it ain't gonna happen. It don't work like that. You need to go someplace that's like not right out in
and not
sight.
that I don't like your statues, but it's just not,
It's not. It's not. I don't want to say, and I don't want to say it's not appropriate, because I don't want to make it sound like it's not. It's a bad thing.
I want to look at it all the time. I decorate this house.
I would love to have it all the time, just to be like, my dad would love it.
Well, you two can go move somewhere together.
That's the plan. That's a good idea. You heard her say that. She gave me permission. So when I'm not here, when she's not here filming with me no more, you know that I moved someplace else.
And I'm always redecorating this place, and he allows me to buy the stuff, and lets me basically do what I want. And even if he fights me on it, like our master bathroom, I'm eventually going to be able to paint it, because even though he's saying no, I will get my way on that. Guarantee it.
I think what you got to do is, I think truthfully, it's got to be like a give and take.
Yeah.
I think it's
you can't be married to somebody and stop them from doing something they love and enjoy. You know, you have to let that person have their space, you know, to go to. Let that person still enjoy the things they want. Each of you, like even the guys, if your girlfriends like to buy makeup all the time or what, you should let them. You know, and
because that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
It can't be all right.
As long as you have the money,
here's a scenario. If I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to put Batman statues in the basement. I want to do this, da da da. And then she's like, well, I want to go get this. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The first time she might let it slide. Then the next time, no. You know, it's like at some point you need to give, and that's what you got to ask. Now, if straight up, if you're giving and you're not getting anything back in return, the relationship's not going to work. But the thing of it is like, if you're with somebody and they're trying to change you,
that's not good.
It's not worth it. Like if you
I knew how he was when I met him.
Yes, and you need to be honest and upfront and be like, hey, listen, I'm a geeky bastard. I want these things in my life, and if they're not willing to accept you for you, I don't care how good looking she is. I don't care. Just let it go. Yeah. I mean, you got to be happy with yourself first and foremost, and that's the way it needs to be. And
never change yourself for somebody else.
Yeah, and you know I know it kind of isn't really geek centric per se, but it is. I mean, I know it's turning into like this relationship thing, but that's more or less what it is. Because I get questions all the time. I get questions all the time of, you know, you're so lucky that your wife lets you do this stuff. And I admit I'm very lucky that I have a wife that allows me to do this stuff. You know, you go talk to the guys up at the comic book shop and they tell me horror stories where they have guys bringing stuff back because their girlfriends are like, no, you can't have that. Like, no.
That's messed up.
You can't be, you need to, like, you need a dumper. Seriously. Get out. So
he you know, we get along good because we're pretty similar for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a couple things we're different.
Yeah.
But I mean, he lets me do what I want and buy what I want. I let him buy what he wants. Whatever.
As long as the bills are paid.
Yes, as long
as the bills are paid, then
we have the money.
Sky's the limit. Do whatever you want to do.
If you want to buy that, go ahead. You know, knock yourself out.
Yeah. You know, you got to figure out what you want to do in life and where you want, you know, what makes you happy.
It's definitely something you need to sit down and talk about.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And we have the perfect marriage. Aw, you're cute.
Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Really means a lot to me that you guys take 10, 15 minutes a day or whatever a week. There's a lot of things on YouTube you guys could be watching. It means the world that you actually take a little bit of time to watch this. So it's very humbling, I assure you. Because when I first started, I was like, this is stupid. So now here I go, and I'm getting more and more followers and subscribers, and I can't say thank you enough. Wholeheartedly, I mean that. So if you're not a subscriber, please, if you feel like it, click the subscribe button because it'll tell you when new videos are up. But it also could tell you like, hey, that idiot's on YouTube again and I don't want to watch him, so I know not to go to his channel again.
Exactly. You can avoid him.
Exactly. You can avoid me by subscribing. It works.
A win-win.
It's a win-win. So, and you could also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Geek Gurus again, because you could find out what I'm doing and then like go the opposite direction.
Place.
Yeah, avoid that. Be
avoid
like,
it.
He's going to blah 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 Target to pick up an amiibo. I'm going to the one on the other side of the country.
That's right.
It's all works. So
it's like Geek Guru GPS.
Exactly.
Stay
That's
away.
what it is. It's a homing device. It tells you where I am and where to avoid. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. Follow on the social media outlets down below. Click the links. Good to go. Peace, mother.